everybody, and welcome to my review of the 120 watt head PEAVEY JSX, or the Joe Satriani signature head. It was advertised as a Joe Satriani's head. It's been out of production for quite some time right now, so the only way you can find this are the used one amplifier, because it's out of production. So it used to be the Joe Satriani's hand before he switched to Marshall. So, but regardless of that, it's a very cool amplifier. It looks complicated from the get-go, from the front panel here, because it has 3 channels. So only because it has 3 channels, it looks very complicated. In reality, the knobs are very simple here. So starting from the left here, we have the power and the standby indicator here, and we have of course the light, and you have the general presence and resonance control. These 2 knobs here are affecting the whole all the channels, so they have all the whole amplifier. So the presence, of course, is circuitry which is situated on the power on the power section of the amp, so we will actually add some high frequencies on the general sound, and the resonance will actually help you dampening some low frequency, because depending on which cabinet or which guitar or which situation, or which actually if you're in a hall, if you're in a concert hall, if you're in your room, if you're using 1x12 speaker, 4x12, it will actually help you take out some of the low frequencies. Then you have a master volume, which is a general volume for all the channels, and then every single channel has its own equalization, like treble, middle, bass, and a separate volume, and of course in a separate gain. And okay, nothing much going here. We have your crunch channel, your ultra channel, and then you have the fat switch here, which is situated only in this distorted channel, so in the crunch channel and in the fat and the other ultra channel. It just adds some extra, a little bit of gain, some voltage. I'm not sure what actually it really does, but it's just a feeling. For example, I'm not using it on the ultra channel, because the ultra channel is already over distorted. There's a lot of bass here, and I'm using it to actually fatten up, to thicken up the crunch channel. Then both the ultra channel and the crunch channel have a separate noise gate, which is very useful. Actually, it's useful because this amp here has a tendency to be a little bit noisy compared to other amplifiers. For example, I don't know, I have the stiletto right here, and it's very gentle, and it's not that much noisy compared to this one. This one actually has a tendency to be noisy, actually. So be mindful. If you already have one of your noise gate, it's okay. You can actually turn it down. Usually I leave it around 4 or 5, because if you go over here too much, okay, it's really effective. So you actually will ruin your sound. Then we have a normal clean channel. As you can see, this amplifier is the quintessence of the simplicity, because the 3 EQ and the volume, and that's it. You don't need everything else. If you just heard the music that I play for you, and the clean channel is just perfect. You don't need to actually, like other amplifiers, have some modification for the voltage and everything. You don't need that. It's just a simple amp. Then you have the 2 input jacks here, one for high gain and one for low gain. It doesn't change much. Just for if you have a guitar that has very high output pickup, you can actually connect the other one to the low gain, but it doesn't affect very much the sound very much. The PEAVEY, the 5150, also used to have this kind of a design where you actually have 2 inputs. So that's said about the amplifier. It looks very cool. But be careful, because if you're planning on using this one to a gig and go around jamming, it's very heavy. It's 23 kilograms. So of all the amplifiers that I have here, this is by far the heaviest. I also have the combo. It's almost very similar. The weight is similar to the Mark V's over there. So it's a 120 watt, so it doesn't have anything to reduce the power. So be careful if you're using this one in your room. Just buy one of those, one attenuator like those. I'm using the THD, the attenuator over there, so you can actually take out some of the noise. You can see I'm using that very constricted, so it's actually taking out some of the volume is extremely useful because this amplifier here, it's extremely loud. So be careful when you actually planning on this, on putting it in your room. Be careful if you don't have one of those, one of those attenuator, it kind of becomes useless, because if you don't use the valve at the right stage, as you can see there in the volume, it's very high, it's around 7. It's an insane level. It's a stadium concert hall level. So it will be impossible to play an amplifier like this in my room. But if you use it in your room without the attenuator, you will be forced to use it in something like this, around 3, around 2, which is ridiculous because the valves inside are not working. So you don't get the sound. At the moment, this amplifier is running with 4 EL34 valves, the one here, the JJ valves made in the Slovak Republic. So they are very good actually for this kind of amp. I don't know if you prepare a different brand of valves, but after all, there are only so many factories that are actually producing valves, so you're gonna end up with this kind of valve anyway. So it's a very good quality. You can also switch for 6L6's valves, but there is no switch in the back. So if you are able to manually biasing again your amp after you switch the tube, it's okay, but there is no switch. Some amps, some amplifiers have already a switch to actually reduce the wattage, but it's impossible because it's just 120 and there is no way to reduce the total power of the amp unless. Okay, here are some samples. We are in the crunch channel, so the gain is almost all the way up. So this is how it sounds. There is no effects, no reverb. The FX chain is excluded from the signal chain. So this is the amp, how it sounds with no processing at all. This is the amp. This is the neck pickup with a single coil, so this sounds like a Stratocaster. Okay, this is the clean channel. Single coil again in the 2 pickups. This is the ultra channel, again with the gain almost all the way up. So this is kind of a, you can see where if I don't use the noise gate, it will become a just a little noisy when you can actually go all the way up. So it's almost impossible to play like this. Okay, it really works, but it could probably be very useful in a, I don't know, heavy metal situation or something like that. Actually, it's kind of extreme because you don't hear your fingers. Just a little bit, but it's too extreme when you use it like that. So I usually take it back here, back around 5, so you can actually you feel your fingers on the string, because that's how usually what happens. And this is the ultra channel with no effects. It has a little, it needs a some kind of compression because it doesn't have that much sustain. Just a little compression, but it's already a great sounding amp. It is used right now with the volume at 7, so it's kind of how it's supposed to be used, because all the power valves inside here are working, are creating the sound. Because if you use it without the attenuator and you use it just around 3, it really sounds like crap, because you will be forced to use it like this, and it's already loud. See that? Really, it really cuts off the sustain. Is really gone, because you need the power valves. That's why that's the way you use it. You put it on 7 and then you use it like this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching.